అమ్మాయి పేరు బయటికి రావద్దని నాకు తెలుసు.
We are serving documents could be given and that could be used in a bail application. There is no such law. There cannot be from the prosecution side only the documents have to be looked into. Any document at this stage filed by the other side are actually not, they are not to be looked into.
No. What he is saying is, not these are not additional documents. Documents, I think.
Correct. Already
along
filed.
with the bail. No. What I understood. Let him
correct.
if I am
Leadership
also
survive.
In case if he is taken
the documents which are filed along with the bail petition, there are certain places where the names or name of the prosecutress have not been masked.
Strike.
It is not masked.
They are liable for
So
prosecution for that, my lord.
That
Now
is-
at this stage the court cannot accept those.
So he
They
wants
have
to
come out
now
clearly,
mask
my lord.
it
The
and give
passport-
other documents.
Well, what I respectfully submit is the passport, her photograph is published, her names are published, the certificates, birth certificates, her names are published, and now they cannot then say that I want to take it back. And now if we accept that, it amounts to, letting them go scot-free of the offences what they have committed.
So if they
It is
have-
Let him argue at this
punishable by 6 months.
Let him argue,
Let the
Mr.
prosecution take its own course. We are not willing to take that.
In respect of the date of birth certificate, other certificate, I collected from the IO millet. I may be permitted to
Why
place.
sir, they are collecting my date of birth certificate?
An application is given by the advocate to some other person, some Anthony Reddy and all. They say, we want to inquire. Who are you to inquire about my date of birth and date stake? It does it not amount
I've stayed
to
on
tampering
legal
with evidence?
My lord, I've stayed on
Register your
legal
objection
arguments.
to this.
Yes, my lord. Now this is, my lord, the first, because my lord, the complaint specifically refers to the messages that are being given to the police, and this is where I want to go and assist the police. My lord, your ladyship may kindly see. My lord, what I am placing is the chat between, I'm giving a copy to the learned public prosecutor, so my lord, your ladyship would notice that whatever I am giving for your ladyship's kind consideration, and I will not read this. Ladyship would notice page 14. Your ladyship will notice the date, my lord, below the letter, just above the letter, 25th October. My ladyship notices, my lord?
Yes.
Above 25th October is the previous chat. But I have not given the entire one, my lord, because I just wanted to focus on the dates that are forming part of the complaint. My lord, very important. Your ladyship sees on the left side above 25th October.
Yes.
My lord, like it happens, my lord, in WhatsApp, left side is what I receive.
Yes.
That is, my lord, this is the victim sending it to me. Right side is what I send. I had indicated yesterday for your ladyship's kind consideration. Left side on the top, there is a suggestion of a place now made by the victim. Because yesterday, my lord, the complaint I read to your ladyship to say that she was taken from place to place, indicating that she had no knowledge and, my lord, she was being taken forcibly. My lord, now please see next page. Is 26th October.
Yes.
This is after, my lord, that incident of 25th October, my lord. 25th October is one incident. At the bottom left hand side,
Yes.
this is, my lord, movie tickets being sent by the girl because she wants to go for a movie with this boy. Next page also, page 16. This I am placing for ladyship's to consideration to show that if 25th October was the incident as alleged by the mother, my lord, then this does not align with the case of a person who, while being in a relationship, was forced to undergo any sexual harassment. But I am not even using the word penetrative sexual harassment. My lord, then please see next page. This is, my lord, everything that happens. I therefore said they were in a cordial friendship stroke relationship, my lord, in terms of the complaint prior to one incident. My lord, ladyship may only notice page number 18, right hand side bottom. But I'm not reading this out aloud. There's a quotation sent. My lord, next incident, my lord, if I may just place, is 13th November. Separate copies here. Now, this is a material I must give it to the police, my lord, for the purpose of assisting the police. My client just needs some interim protection so that he can go before the police and place all of this. Your ladyship has the date 12th November. My lord, in the middle of the page, below the
Yes.
photographs.
Yes.
Above that, my lord, are photographs which show that the family and the boy and the girl went to, my lord, some spiritual places together. Just below 12th November, your ladyship may see the time length. My lord, check. Another incident is 13th November, my lords. Page 17 top, your ladyship asked me, where is the date? 13th November. 13th November is the relevant date. Another incident. Now 12th November, just below 12th November, left side, does my ladyship see
8 hours.
voice call 8 hours? This is call made from the girl's phone originally. It originates from the girl's phone. 13th November, voice call 6 hours. 13th November, they're talking normally for 6 hours. 8 minutes. Next page, your ladyship would see regular messaging, my lord, between people who may be in a relationship or friendship. Next page, 14th November, voice calls exchanged.
Yes.
14th November, my lord, is the third line. And your ladyship says 14th November, voice call 6 hours. Again, voice calls, my lord, then messages are going on. Next page also, your ladyship would see all normal messages. So, my lord, 13th November, nothing for the, my lord, court to at this point glean that the incident of 13th November that is referred in the complaint, it may need to be investigated. I am only trying to place, because, my lord, the complaint refers to social media chat. I am placing social media chat prior and after between these people, and my lord, this is between the victim and my lord, this particular person, that nothing from this chat indicates something serious. Maybe there is something more. That will be their case. Maybe a case for investigation. I am arguing this for the purpose of interim, my lord, anticipatory bail. My lord, next is 31st December. Copies wala good. Seal cover level number. But in fact, my lord, this 31st December, there are other messages which show that they were planning a 31st December get together with friends for a long time earlier. And my lord, the places were being suggested by all people. We'll go to this place, that place, not that she was forcibly taken as the mother tried to complain. Now, Lord Ladyship sees 30th December.
28th.
30. My lord. Page 5.
Yes.
Which number? Third set. My ladyship has been on?
Yes.
My lord, ladyship sees on 30th December, what is forwarded by the boy to the girl is Telangana Excise Department giving permission. But Excise Department, your ladyship knows, the permission is if they want to have a small private party if they are consuming liquor. Now, then please see next page.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, same page below, 3rd January, your ladyship sees there are missed calls. When she calls, not picked up. We don't know what transpired, what was the fight or whatever. Next page, regular, some forwards of messages on 5th January. Left side, my lord, something that the girl sends, the photographs. Next page, again, 5th January, my lord, photographs of something else. At the bottom of the page, but again, typically, my lord, in a friendship, because the mother calls it relationship and I don't know them as well, I'm only, even if I take the allegation to be true, please see page 9. I think the problem starts, my lord, after the missed calls start happening from here. 7th January, the mother admits relationship broke off. But 31st December, 1st January, the nature of allegations made, which, my lord, in the original complaint were at the nature of sexual harassment, nothing of that nature reflected from the contemporaneous surrounding circumstances. And this is a test your ladyship, my lord, has laid down in the SC/ST case, that even if the complaint were to make, in this case, had the original complaint made an allegation about penetrative sexual assault, which is section, my lord, 5 and 6. Even then, if there is something for the court to see that this may be something that is just added for the purpose of spicing up the complaint, the court can look behind. Luckily for me, but I have a much lesser burden to discharge, because if I take the allegation entirely, post proper legal advice, post them contemplating legal action from March, filing the complaint in the month of May, 8th May, if they have not made that, that in my respectful submission singularly entitles me to the grant of a limited benefit of doubt for the purpose of anticipatory bail. Your ladyships are not deciding the issue, your ladyships are not discarding the improvement, your ladyships are not saying that no case is made out. As long as the court thinks that this is a matter where if I need to be taken into custody, that is the original sections required me to take into custody, it's a different issue. They did not require me to take into custody. So any improvement made, as I said, my lord, the normal latitude may not be available in this case because the original complaint is filed, as I use the expression, my lord, with full contemplation, full deliberation, full legal advice, my lord, and your ladyship may see the language, my lord. It would have done me proud. Honestly, my lord, I'm not trying to demean it. It's a very well drafted legal complaint, which clearly emanates, my lord, from some very good legal advice they have taken. So if someone who's so legally well advised uses, my lord, the nature of language which I'm complimenting them, that is not making this allegation, any allegation made thereafter may be incorrect. My lord, lastly, my lord, very quickly now I have to show some law and then I'll conclude, my lord. My lord, your ladyship may kindly have, my lord, POCSO Act. My lord, the object of this act itself.
Yes.
My lord, this was pursuant to the Convention on the Rights of Child. My lord, the last para of that act, and whereas the state parties to the Convention on the Rights of the Child are required to undertake all appropriate national, bilateral and multilateral measures to prevent, my lord, A, the inducement or coercion of a child to engage in any, my lord, please mark this, unlawful sexual activity. My lord, original object was not any sexual activity, unlawful sexual activity. The exploitative use of children in prostitution or other unlawful sexual practices, the exploitative use of children in pornographic performances and materials. My lord, then the definitions, my lord, I'll skip. My lord, what may be relevant though for your ladyships to note would be 2A, which is aggravated penetrative sexual assault. D becomes relevant, my lord, because under the Indian context now, we have defined the word child to be any person below the age of 18 years. Now, this has but however come up, my lord, for judicial consideration. My lord, then your ladyship may see the original sections were 11 and 12. Your ladyship may kindly go to section 8. 7 is, my lord, sexual assault. 8 is punishment for sexual assault. 3 years and extends to 5 years.
Yes.
11, my lord, is sexual harassment. 12 is punishment for sexual harassment, which may extend to 3 years and shall be liable to fine. The improvement, my lord, they tried to bring it is under 5, which is aggravated penetrative sexual assault.
Yes.
But I have not been privy to what they are saying. So in the original complaint, not even in relation to the 4 incidents, single incident alleged of penetrative sexual assault. Now for it to come under an aggravated penetrative sexual assault, while I am still in the blind about how they tried to attract this section, my lord, it will require something more egregious. My lord, it may be under, my lord, KLMN, I don't know. My lord, the learned public prosecutor will tell your lordships how, my lord, that improvement brought it under this. My lord, K is whoever taking advantage of child's mental or physical disability commits, my lord, penetrative sexual assault, may not apply in my case, my lord, in my assessment. 11, whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on the child more than once or repeatedly. But as I said, as I see the complaint, there is not even once. So now 6 is the punishment, which extends to 20 years or remainder of natural life. My lord, after this act, my lord, was made, your ladyship says this was in 2012. My lord, there was, my lord, Justice Verma Commission that was constituted, which dealt with this. My lord, I am showing these two very quickly, my lord, before I go to the judgments, my lord, that I want to rely upon. My lord, Justice Verma Committee in 2013, my lord, said that they recommended, my lord, that this must be brought down to the age of 16 on the supposition that after the children cross the age of 16, they will have slightly greater maturity. And my lord, therefore, this POCSO offences, my lord, must be brought to, instead of 18, that must be brought down to 16. But I must fairly state, as I stated in the beginning as a senior counsel, I must bring it to your ladyship's notice that this has not been accepted. My lord, the Law Commission also recommends that this has to be brought down to the age of 16. Now, what I will now place for your ladyship's kind consideration is, even with the act being what it is, just give me that Burma Commission. Which crop note is it?
No, but it has not been accepted, so.
Not been accepted. So, I'm not there. But with the act being what it is, the matters have come up for consideration before the court. But I am placing 2 or 3 judgments for your ladyship's consideration, and that will conclude my arguments. First, the High Court. Please can you give me this judgment? Bombay High Court. Vijay Chand. There are many judgments, but I just want to trouble your ladyship with only 2 today.
You have filed copies here along with
But
this
I am just giving this.
compilation,
No,
or-
my lord, no. That was only on the aspect of a ladyship's power, the court's power to grant. Lord, this is the Bombay High Court judgment. And the ladyship sees, my lord, provisions of POCSO Act, my lord, were also coming up for consideration. Para 2, 363, 376, Section 4, Section 8 of POCSO. My lord, then from Para 8 onwards, 7 onwards, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Insofar as the offences punishable under 4, 6 and 8 of POCSO Act are concerned, it may be stated that the provisions of this law, though stringent in nature, would not deter the court to grant or refuse bail in order to secure the ends of justice. The conduct of the prosecution in this case is indicative of the fact that she left, it should be prosecutrix, that she left her home without informing her parents by her own will, and also stayed with the applicant for 4 days. No doubt that the prosecutrix under the purview of POCSO is a minor. However, the facts of the present case indicate that she had sufficient knowledge and capacity to know the full import of her actions and what she was doing, and had only thereafter voluntarily joined and stayed with the applicant for 4 days. Attention is drawn to the decision of Justice Ms. Mrudula Bhatkar in the case of Sunil Mahadev Patil to contend that the consensus of the prosecutrix who is below the age of 18 years is a mitigating circumstance for trial court to consider it. In furtherance to the above, the court has laid down certain specific guidelines after taking into consideration relevant case and also the ethos and development of the age of the young offenders in the Indian society in general. Court in Para 8, 9, 11 and 12 has laid down certain principles. Note the quoted portion start at the foot of the page. Next page, my lord. Second line.